Good morning, and what we're going to do today is we're going to pot on some seedlings. Now, my Rebecca are doing really well. My wallflowers, they'll take 2 years to flower. I don't know about Rebecca. I had last year I grew them, got eaten by slugs. Hoping better this year. Nothing as of yet from stock. I do have some cosmos coming up, so that's good. I think I had some foxgloves, but maybe they got a bit too damp. 2 tomato plants, that's good. I do have some success at the moment with courgette, just a courgette one coming up there, but none of the other veg at the moment. Here I've got lupins, which are coming up, a slug favourite, so I've got to try and protect those from slugs. These I'll talk about in a second because I'm going to do those. No asters, not having luck with asters this year. Carnations coming up really nicely. Antirrhinums, they're like snapdragons. And lots of sweet williams coming up, so that's really, really good. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to pot up these into some bigger pots. At the back I've got leeks. These are purple broccoli and these are standard broccoli. I'm going to actually try growing all the leeks in one pot together because I've seen some videos about that and apparently it's possible. The purple sprouting broccoli again can be grown quite close together, so I think I'm going to put 3 pots in each. And then with the broccoli, I think I'm going to go for maybe 3 to a pot seedling. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so 3 pots of broccoli. 2 or 3 pots of sprouted broccoli. I'm going to try 1 plot of leeks. The problem with this location is that I don't get enough light, so really I need to pot them on and put them in somewhere that's a bit brighter. So I'll show you the pots I'm going to use in a moment. I've got these 6 pots. I think what I'm going to do, big white pot over here, will be for the leeks. The 2 old red and black pots I'll put in the sprouting broccoli, purple sprouting broccoli, and then in these 3 I'm going to put in the standard broccoli. But I want to put a mixture of manure and compost. So I've got some compost bags I've already opened, so I'll put a mixture of manure and compost in each of these, and then I will show you planting in. So what we've got here is 50-50 compost and manure. Now, one of the issues when you get bagged compost or manure is that it doesn't have any of the soil decomposers in there, things like worms. I've just had a quick look around the garden of what I can find. So I found a few worms that I'm going to release into each pot, and then what they can do is help break down particularly the manure that still needs to be decomposed a bit, and hopefully release that nutrients a little bit faster than naturally it would happen. It does look like there's like bacteria and fungi growing in it, so that will help as well. But worms in particular are quite good at aerating the soil, keeping it quite well drained, so that's good. First of all, I'm going to do the leeks. Now some of them, you'll see, haven't come up yet, but I'll still plant these. Maybe I'll put them a little bit closer together. Some of them have, but I think they do need a lot more light to be much more successful. So I'm going to place them in here. And the advice that I've seen, watching other YouTubers, is to plant them quite low in the pot, so then you can pack soil around them when they get a bit bigger to help support them. Because one of the things that leeks do is they go really, really tall. But if the bottoms of them aren't well bedded, then they'll fall over. So if you plant them below the pot, and then when they get a bit bigger than the pot, you start packing soil around the bottom, it will keep them upright for much longer. So I'm going to plant all of these ones in and then show you what it looks like. I've planted all the little baby leeks in. I think they probably should have been a bit bigger before I did this, but they just weren't doing very well on the racking. And I've watered them in, so fingers crossed we'll have some success. Now we're going to do the purple sprouting broccoli in these 2 containers. I'll show you how I'm going to lay them out. You've got to be really careful, probably more careful than I'm being. If you've got more than one in a pot, what you have to do is separate them out, try and work them apart. And what you can see is the roots will tease apart, and then you have 2 separate plants. You will lose a few roots because the roots are really delicate. You want your strongest plants kind of quite far apart from each other. so that they're not competing with each other. So I'm going to do something like that. And then in the middle I'm going to put 2 little seedlings that have only recently come out. We don't know whether they'll make it or not. They can compete with each other. I might switch some of these with some of these because not all of these are as big. And then again around the edge. So I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. So we've put them all in. So there's a mixture of quite well developed seedlings and quite little ones in both pots. Kind of move them around a bit. So that's the case. I'll just water them in and move them into the sunshine. And one of the things I said with broccoli is you must make sure that the soil is quite firm before you plant them. It can hold itself. But I am really aware, if you can see, that this is still not completely decomposed. On the top of it, I'm putting a layer of much more free draining compost. But this has really good because you can compact it and hold its shape, but then it will break apart if it needs to. So that is ideal for planting them in. And then as their roots get further down, they'll get down into the manure and like mixed compost layer, which will have all the more nutrients and develop into some really nice and healthy broccoli. I thought I'd give a quick update on the peas. They are growing. I think they've grown quite a lot. It's hard to tell. And I think I spotted one of them has actually started to use the hazel. So that's good. Oh, 2. That one there's gone on the hazel too. So hopefully, if I keep watering them, they will do really well. The broccoli are all in, 3 in each pot. They're 32cm pots. I will update you on how they do later. And I thought I'd just tell you a little bit of science because they're pretty cool broccolis and sprouting broccolis. They are a brilliant example of selective breeding. Standard broccoli, purple sprouting broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cauliflowers, cabbages. They all come from one particular plant called the wild mustard plant, and over time we've just selectively bred them to do different things. So for the case of broccoli, you're actually harvesting the flower buds. In the case of cauliflower, it's like a mutated flower bud that you're harvesting. Brussels sprouts, you're harvesting the actual sprouts, like the shoots off the sides. And in the case of cabbages, you're harvesting the leaves. So they are pretty amazing in terms of versatility, and they all have very, very similar, well, they all came from, originally, the wild mustard plant. So hopefully ours will grow into a lovely broccoli. Now broccoli takes a lot of time to develop, so these won't be ready till early winter at the earliest, if they survive that long. It just shows what you can grow in containers. So if you don't have a big garden, this is a really lovely way of having a go at growing vegetables, whether you've got children or whether you're just trying to grow for yourself. It's just a really nice example of showing people how, good way of showing children where vegetables come from. And in terms of adults, it's just great to feel a little bit sustainable and try it out, really. Have a whole newfound appreciation for the farmers that have to grow this for us. Every day we just turn up in the shops. So thank you for watching and have a lovely day.